dead queued up in 3 lines. 2 marked attendant on duty. 1 marked easy death. The easy death line was moving right along. The other 2 were crawling. "What do you figure?" I asked Annabeth. "The fast line must go straight to the Asphodel Fields," she said. "No contest. They don't want to risk judgment from the court because it might go against them." "There's a court for dead people?" "Yeah, the judges. They switch around who sits on the bench. King Minos, Thomas Jefferson, Shakespeare. People like that. Sometimes they look at life and decide that a person needs a special reward, the Fields of Elysium. Sometimes they decide on punishment. But most people, well, they just lived. Nothing special, good or bad, so they just go to the Asphodel Fields." "And do what?" Grover said. "Imagine standing in a wheat field in Kansas. Forever." "Harsh," I said. "Not as harsh as that," Grover muttered. "Look." A couple of black-robed ghouls had pulled aside one spirit and were frisking him at the security desk. The face of the dead man looked vaguely familiar. "He's that preacher who made the news, remember?" Grover asked. "Oh, yeah, I did remember now. We'd seen him on TV a couple times at the Yancey Academy. He was this annoying televangelist from upstate New York who raised $1 million for orphanages and then got caught spending money on stuff for his mansion, like gold-plated toilet seats, an outdoor putt-putt golf course. He died in a police chase with his Lamborghini for the Lord as it went off a cliff." I said, "What are they doing to him?" "Special punishment from Hades," Grover guessed. "Really bad people get this personal attention as soon as they arrive. The kindly ones will set up an eternity of torture for him." The thought of the Furies made me shudder. I realized I was in their home territory now. Old Miss Dodds would be licking her lips with anticipation. "But if he's a preacher," I said, "and he believes in a different hell." Grover shrugged. "Who says he's seeing this place as we're seeing it? Humans see what they want to see. You're very stubborn, persistent in that way." We got close to the gates. The howling was so loud now it shook the ground at my feet, but I still couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Then, about 50 feet in front of us, the green mist shimmered. Standing just where the path split into 3 lanes was an enormous, shadowy monster. I hadn't seen it before because it was half transparent, like the dead, until it moved. It blended with whatever was behind it. Only its eyes and teeth looked solid, and it was staring straight at me. My jaw hung open. All I could think of to say was, "He's a Rottweiler." I'd always imagined Cerberus as a big black mastiff, but he obviously was a purebred Rottweiler, except for of course that he was twice the size of a woolly mammoth, mostly invisible, and had 3 heads. The dead walked right up to him, no fear at all. The attendant on duty lines parted down either side of him. The easy death spirits walked right between his front paws and under his belly, which they could do without even crouching. "I'm starting to see him better," I muttered. "Why is that?" "I think," Annabeth moistened her lips, "I'm afraid it's 'cause we're closer to being dead." The dog's middle head craned towards us. It sniffed the air and growled. "It can smell the living," I said. "But that's okay," Grover said, trembling next to me, "'cause we have a plan." "Right," Annabeth said. I'd never heard a voice sound quite so small. "A plan." We moved towards the monster. The middle head snarled at us, then barked so loudly my eyeballs rattled. "Can you understand it?" I don't know, can you?" "Yeah, I can." "What's it saying?" "I don't think humans have a 4-letter word that translates exactly." I took the big stick out of my backpack, a bedpost I've broken off a crusty Safari Deluxe floor model. I held it up and tried to channel happy dog thoughts towards service. Outbow commercials, cute little puppies, fire hydrants. I tried to smile like I wasn't about to die. "Hey, big fella," I called up. "I bet they don't play with you much." Growl. "Good boy," I said weakly. I waved the stick. The dog's middle head followed the movement. The other 2 heads trained their attention on me, completely ignoring the spirits. I had Cerberus' undivided attention. I wasn't sure that was a good thing. "Fetch!" I threw the stick into the gloom. A good solid throw. I heard it go kerplosh in the river Styx. Cerberus glared at me, unimpressed. His eyes were baleful and cold. So much for the plan. Cerberus glares at me, now making a new kind of growl, deeper down in his 3 throats. Grover said, "Percy?" "Yeah?" "I just thought you'd want to know." "Yeah?" "Cerberus? He says we've got 10 seconds to pray to our god of choice. After that, well, he's hungry." "Wait!" Annabeth said, starting rifling through her pack. Uh-oh, I thought. 5 seconds, Grover said. Do we run now? Annabeth produced a red rubber ball the size of a grapefruit. It was labeled Waterland, Denver, Colorado. Before I could stop her, she raised the ball and marched straight up to Cerebus. She said, "See the ball? You want the ball? Cerebus, sit!"